You know, it's a sad day for our society when you can no longer impress people simply by telling them that you're a CrossFit vegan that drives a Jeep Wrangler and is heavy into crypto. But I can just sit here and be sad about it, or I can do something about it. So today we're going to do a guitar lesson on how to impress people, all the while impressing yourself with the amount that you're going to learn in just a few short minutes today. Okay? So, the number one way to impress anybody with a guitar is to learn double hammer-ons, because then it sounds like you're super fast. So we're going to start with the open A string, and then we're going to get the 2nd fret of the A string and the 4th fret of the A string, okay? So we have 3 notes. Now, I just picked each of those. You could go down, 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 if you're into that James Hetfield style picking, or you could go down, up, down, if you're like a jazz man with your alternate picking, or you could just impress people by going double hammer on. Okay, so basically I'm striking the string once, letting it vibrate, coming down with force, with pizzazz, just like a CrossFit maniac. Getting that 2nd fret, and then continuing that energy, keeping that CrossFit energy all the way to the 4th fret. Okay, so that's a double hammer on. You're striking the string once, but then getting 3 different notes out of it. All right, now, you know, maybe you're already impressed, but the kind of people that I hang out with aren't so easily impressed. No, they've seen that before. We got to continue on, all right? So we're going to do the same thing on the D string. Open to 4, open to 4, 6, 7, okay? So now this is essentially the entire A major scale. If we said the names of the notes, it would be A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, okay? Open to 4, open to 4, 6, 7. Now you'll notice I did way above and beyond that double hammer on right there. That's just one strike, okay? And it sounds pretty fast, right? So what we're doing is we're taking all the notes in the A major scale and we are employing an extra string so you can go back and forth pretty quickly, right? Now you can do them in order like that with just 2 picks, right? Or you can kind of mix them up a little bit. Maybe we want to start here. Maybe I want to just hit the A string. That's all just kind of going randomly back and forth through that stuff, right? It sounds fast, it's easy to do once you just kind of get that target practice done right here. Also going to sound good if you're playing it on a Gretsch Streamliner that Sweetwater sent me. This guitar right now, as of the shooting of this video, is $450. I think that's ridiculous. It's a little smaller body than like your regular semi-hollow, but super light, neck feels great. Big fan of this guitar. I just did an unboxing of this a couple days ago. So thank you to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video, sending it over. I have an affiliate link in the description. Show the good people at Sweetwater some love because they are the biggest supporter of the channel. And basically they're my overlords, right? So we're gonna continue on. We just have 1 scale across 2 strings, all right? Now, I think it sounds really cool to establish a tonal center by striking the root note and then, like I did in that example, going through the D string's notes of the A major scale and going back and forth between A. So I've got A, D, A, E, A, F sharp, A, G sharp, A, in any combination. Now I'm kind of getting that hammer on, right? 6 to 7. Maybe. There we go, that's the A. Double hammer on. Okay, now we could do all this on the same string. In fact, this is where it really comes in handy to know your major scale intervals. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. You can do this on any string and apply that formula. A whole step is 2 frets, a half step is 1 fret. So if we start on A, and we go whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. By the fret numbers, it would be open, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. 12, those are going to give you the exact same notes as if we played across the strings, right? But it's really good to know the entire scale and interval all down one string, which we're also going to do the D string, all the notes in this too, and then even a surprise bonus string for you in just a second. But what you can do now is maybe you can kind of do double hammer-ons higher up the neck, or even we can start here by, there's our open A, our octave A. And I just made a little prancy little riff just from there, or I go back again. And then end on like an A major chord, right? So again, these are just more just ideas. These aren't songs or anything. These aren't even necessarily that interesting melodies, but this is where they come from, right? It sounds kind of fast, right? It's just coming from that one interval, right? Memorizing it through whole steps and through half steps, and then just kind of just messing around, seeing what you come up with, building that muscle memory into your hand, and then you'll eventually come up with cool combinations. Now, I do think that there's a lot of utility and merit to understanding the combinations that you like and why they're like that, right? I've found, again, I taught myself guitar. I didn't know any music theory. I was just playing by ear, had no idea what I was doing. But there was a certain thing that my playing always gravitated more towards. And then as I got better at guitar and understood it, I learned that I just liked the sound and the feel of the 4-chord or the Lydian mode, okay? What that means is I liked the sound of D's position in the key of A, D being the 4th note in the key of A. Remember, A, B, C sharp, D. If we did just the notes in the A major scale starting on a D like you did on the A string, remember, open, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, whole, half, whole, half. D's position, using those same notes but starting on D, is really almost the exact same thing with one exception. Instead of open 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, it's open 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12. So that there's that one slight difference. In modal terms, if we were to spell it, we would say that's the major scale with a sharp 4, right? Because here's D major. If I play those same notes, but just take the 4th one and sharpen it, go up 1 note. Otherwise, it's the exact same. So the nice thing about the way a guitar is laid out, where you have the open A string, and then the D string is right after it, right? That's a 4th. The 1st mode, the major scale, and the 4th mode, the Lydian mode, line up right next to each other in a way that is almost symmetrical, but with that little twist, right? In the case of the fret markings, it's either the 5th fret on the A string and the 6th fret on the D string, right? Even them together sounds pretty cool. So again, if we do maybe 3 notes at a time, there's that cool little thing that you're impressing your friends with. We could go to the net. Let's skip the 2nd fret. Let's go open 4, 5, open 4, 6. That's that cool thing about that Lydian mode that everybody knows and loves. And then we can kind of continue forward from there, okay? So I'm going to do both of them starting on A and then D, and we're going to hear what it sounds like right now. A string. Whole, half, whole, half. D string. Whole, half, whole, half. Okay? So, really getting those down is going to be something you're going to want to do, because again, I'm just randomly playing it. I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just following. And then ending on A is always going to resolve on A too, okay? But we're not done there. The beautiful thing about any key is there are 3 different major chords, right? So far we've messed around with the A string and its major intervals. We've messed around with the D string with its essentially the same thing. It's still a major chord. A D major chord will go over this, but it has that sharp 4. Again, the 4th is not in a major chord. That's why we're still allowed to have major chords in these positions. And also the E, A, B, C sharp, D, E. The 1, 4, and 5 in any key are major. A, D, E. Well, how do we find the E on the guitar? We're in luck. The open E string, the lowest E string, is the 5th of A. And essentially everything we just learned for A and D can be applied to E as well, with one difference, okay? So if we were to play the notes in the key of A, starting on E, we'd end up with open, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 12. So, again, here's A major, open, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. What's different when we go open, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 12? That 10th fret. The 5th position in any key is basically the major scale with a flat 7, okay? Otherwise known as a minor 7, but it's a flat 7. All it is just the regular major 7 flattened. So open 10, 12 instead of open 11, 12. So if we just went root 7 octave on each of these 3 strings, each string would be open 10, 12, open 11, 12, open 11, 12. And again, right there, sounds like you're in like a prog band, right there. You're just playing open 7, 8 on each of them. I'm pretty sure that's a Rush song. I don't listen to Rush. Flame me in the comments if you want to. You've never been a huge Rush fan, because that's how Rush makes their music. Again, since I don't really listen to Rush, maybe that isn't a Rush song. In my mind, in my primitive prog rock mind, that's what I feel like Rush music sounds like. But it sounds great, right? And it's great. You can just rip them off, right? That's my favorite thing about the 5 chord in any key is having that flat 7. I don't really love the sound of dominant 7 chords in the context of my own playing so much all the time, but I love that interval, right? So that's really just a dominant 7. And that's actually all in the key of A, believe it or not, all right? So let's actually do a riff where we're going to incorporate what makes each spot special, okay? What I mean by that is the D string, what makes it special is the sharp 4. The E string, what makes it special is the flat 7, okay? So D string, sharp 4, is open to 6. E string is open to 10. And then again, the A string, what makes it special is just it runs the whole show because these are where the notes are coming from. So maybe we start off with like. Now I'm just full on what I think Rush sounds like. That's A. There's D. Notice I'm getting open, the third, the major third to the sharp 4. Then back to A. Then E's spot would be open 10, flat 7. And then if maybe you're gonna like play with another band member, or if you want to come up with a loop over this, the chords are really easy because they're just major chords. It'd be like A, D, E, A. How good does this Gretsch sound, by the way? It's so light too. I love this. This is a sexy looking guitar, right? So those are the chords that you can play. And right there, this is a great example of why you want to learn your intervals, aside from just impressing people, is that A to D to E sounds so basic, right? It sounds like every song you've ever heard in your life, unless you're a Rush fan, because then you listen to the interval way of doing this. I love how this started as a way for me to like impress your friends, and now I'm just kind of like borderline hating on Rush, even though like Rush is awesome. I just don't listen to him. I'm sorry. I know that people are already hating on it, and they haven't gotten this far in the video. But anyways, this is a cool way to replace what is considered by many, me, a basic chord progression, right? A, D, E, A. And again, add those double hammer-ons. Is really the way to do it. Again, I'm not even thinking. It's super late right now. I'm not even on my A game, but it sounds kind of impressive, right? Maybe you were fooled. I'm sure there's plenty of people in the comments that are fooled. You know what's impossible to fool? The good people at Sweetwater sneaking a bad guitar by them because they do that crazy point inspection on every guitar that they do. So again, show them some love. Affiliate link in the description. So, one more time. Intervals. Each time. A. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. D. Whole, 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 half, whole, whole, half. E. Whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole. You don't necessarily have to memorize the intervals. Memorize the sound. It's way more important because you'll be able to feel your way through like a E to that flat 7 or D, getting that sharp 6, or just again the A major scale. So there we have it. Your lesson on how to impress your friends, how to anger an entire fan base of prog rock people, and then just how to stay classy. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, hit me in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. Actually, not Twitter because I deleted Twitter and people give me a hard time about that too. But sorry about that. Thanks to Sweetwater for sponsoring this lesson, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.